Hey, welcome back to The Dive. Today on the show, we're excited to welcome back the CEO of Riverside Resources, John Mark Staude. John Mark's here today to talk about inflation, the greatest opportunities he's seeing right now for retail investors, gold, lithium, and be sure to stick around to the end to hear the latest from Riverside Resources. Hey, John Mark, welcome back to The Dive. Thank you so much for joining us today.
Cassandra, great to be on the show again.
Okay, so John Mark, how do you see current central banks playing a role in fighting higher consumer inflation? And from your view, do all central banks work in tandem?
Oh my gosh, they don't work in tandem. I think they're actually trying to work in tandem. What I definitely see as a challenge for the Federal Reserve, what I definitely see as a challenge for the Bank of Canada, because they have different type of structures. So although they're trying to work in tandem, they're trying to all lower inflation, trying to get in control, not have a recession. I think we're definitely finding two different situations. The Federal Reserve really going and fighting inflation. And in Canada, the inflation's already kind of being caught up with, and now it's really starting to push on recession. So I definitely see they're both pulling on two sides, and it's not at all synchronized.
Do you think that the Bank of Canada is trapped and can no longer raise rates as rapidly as the Fed?
I really do. It's kind of funny. Actually, I have two passports. I have a US passport and I have a Canadian passport, and I'm actually stuck in the middle. I think the United States Federal Reserve definitely sees job numbers, is really seeing that things are going ahead. And I think it's fundamentally because of the structuring of homes that in the United States, you can have a long-term 30-year fixed rate mortgage, which is unheard of for my other passport for Canada. In Canada, it's up to only 5 years. So people are having to refinance their homes already. So there isn't the same ability to be so leveraged. So definitely I find Canada is stuck because it's trying to keep up with the United States Fed and trying to raise the interest rates. It's actually impacting us in Canada where it's not impacting the general consumer and overall people in the United States. And so definitely Canada is trapped trying to keep up, and it can't because of the way it's structured around the home debt.
So, do you think that the Fed is trapped just like the Bank of Canada and we should be looking forward to much higher gold prices?
I definitely think the US Fed is trapped, but different, as I say, than Canada. I think that there will incrementally continue to raise interest rates, but definitely inflation is happening. Inflation is here. Yes, I think gold prices, and I think particularly gold production, we'll see that as we're producing in other currencies and as the US gets stronger currency, if the US is raising interest rates and other countries such as Canada can't, then if you have your actual costs in Canadian dollars or non-US dollars, then your margins go up. And definitely see that overall inflation is hitting. And so, yes, I see the commodities, particularly gold, is going up in price. And I'm definitely bullish about the gold future.
In light of that, what kind of exposure does Riverside offer investors for incoming higher gold prices?
Oh my gosh, Riverside's in such a great position. Last year, we completed a major sale of our Tajitos Gold project where we got a 2% royalty. On top of that, Riverside has a really nice cash position. We've been able to do lots of deals and set up. So Riverside has high-grade gold in Ontario, Canada. Ontario is the world's leader of Canada for most gold production out of all of Canada. And Canada is a major gold producer worldwide. And then in Mexico, we're operating high-grade gold ounces, not grams, ounces per ton. That's 30 times better than grams. We're really excited about the high grade gold that Riverside has. So Riverside is set up in the gold and precious metal sector fabulous for 2023.
So, what does Riverside's overall royalty portfolio look like?
Wow, we're so excited. We have over a 2% net smelter royalty on the Sugarloaf Peak gold resource, which is over 1 million ounces of in situ gold in a non 43101 historic resource that we have. Also, we have a 1% royalty on Capitan Mining on the development of the Cruz de Plata project, which can be a future mine, and very excited. Of course, Tajitos, which will be a future mine with Fresnillo. Fresnillo is one of Mexico's largest mining companies, and Mexico has been the world leader for 500 years in precious metal mining and silver. And so for Riverside, they have a 2% royalty on the Tajitos. Plus, we have royalties with BHP and other projects as well. Riverside is set up with a major strong portfolio of royalties in the company Riverside.
We've seen various lithium stocks in Canada have a great year. From our view, battery metals seem to be one of the only areas that junior investors are interested in at the moment. Is Riverside looking at any projects involving cobalt, nickel, or lithium?
We're definitely focused in the battery metals, and two of the major battery metals would be copper and nickel. Those other elements are also important, and we've been able to generate projects that have the potential. And recently, in rare earth elements, also, Riverside has a portfolio of projects. So, although those elements have become in favor now, Riverside, with our mega database of over 75,000 locations, has been working on this database for 15 years. Yes, we have the database. Yes, we have projects. And yes, we were already in the positions to be moving ahead. So no, we're not trying to chase it. We're actually trying to lead it.
So, where do you think we are in the lithium cycle?
Definitely, I see that. I think that in the overall sector, what's really happening is that lithium is really in a bubble. It's just so hot right now. And so definitely see that we actually have so much going on in the lithium space that it feels pretty heady right now. And so for us, we definitely see that people are selling and trying to do different things. It's going to only be a number of producers that can make it to market. So definitely there's so much momentum right now in lithium, but it feels very toppy to me, and it feels like we're in a bubble. Thus, it's great to own companies like Riverside that are fundamentally have gold, silver, copper. Copper will be a key element for the energy metals and for the future and the development of energy and the transformation that we'll see over the next 20 and 30 years.
Where do you see the greatest opportunity for retail investors right now?
Really, for retail investors, I'm amazed with the opportunity in commodities. Commodities are true value. I think really that we saw that over time, Bitcoin and a lot of other things really took up a lot of interest. People really went into technology. And right now, we definitely see the hard assets, particularly around the battery metals, particularly around precious metals, and particularly around industrial, that we definitely see that that is where there's intrinsic value. They've been beaten up so hard down. And right now, I'm really bullish about the commodities.
Okay, John Mark, well, that's all we have for you today. Is there anything else that we didn't touch on about Riverside that you would like investors to know about before you leave?
For Riverside, first off, I'm so excited to be the CEO and to lead a great team. I think this year, we're so excited to have major companies like BHP, which is one of the world's largest mining companies, fully funding over $5 million of different projects moving ahead in exploration that we have going. Also, to have assets in Canada and working in Ontario with major gold belt. So we're super excited for the potential and for the coming year for Riverside Resources.
Okay, sounds great. Well, thank you so much for coming on today, John Mark, and sharing your expertise and giving us the company update.
Great, Cassandra, to be on the show.
Thank you so much for watching today. We will be back again tomorrow with the latest in small cap news coverage. So be sure to stay tuned by hitting that notification bell and subscribing below so you don't miss out. Bye.